Hello, YouTube, is Ryan here with Hobbies and Man once again, and today we are doing our monthly ramble for the month of May. So, yeah, that's the intro. I don't know, I don't have anything else to say about that. So, monthly rambles are basically a conversation topic that I come up with through whatever has been happening in the manga tube community lately, or whatever's been happening in my life lately. And I basically just sit down and record, and it's a ramble video. So the point is that I'm basically talking off the top of my head, and the point is to give you a more direct conversational style video than, the ones that I usually record. And the point is also to minimize the amount of editing that I need to do at least once a month. Now, it's not like I really do that much editing in my videos anyways. I do tend to shoot them all in one take and then just release them as is, because I don't really make mistakes that are super negative most of the time, or like I just don't I just restart the whole video if I don't like how the first take goes. So I guess it's really not that different, but the point is that it's supposed to be a mostly raw, unfiltered video where I just talk about an opinion I have, and the point is to have a conversation about it. And so today, the conversation has been inspired by a few videos and a few posts that have been going on the last 2 months in the MangaTube community. More specifically, just the most recent one is Manga Heroes, manga tuber tier list, and then a subsequent video that he made where he just made a very kind of basic and slightly mean-spirited, I think, kind of haul video in a specific style. And I don't really have an opinion on whether what he did is right or wrong. That's not the point of it. But he did bring up an interesting kind of thing in his manga tuber tier list, and that's that, a lot of people just buy normal things that everyone else is buying, and he kind of made it seem like that was not great, and he praised someone specifically for buying things that they thought were kind of not standard, and that kind of brought to mind the idea that collecting should be however you want to see it. Dark Sage also made a video, not in response to this one, but just a separate video where he talks about collecting casually and how it's okay to be a casual collector. And then, who was it? That Man and His Manga also made a video about a similar topic. And so I kind of wanted to not respond to any of their videos. I'm not looking to make beef or have any discussions that are negative or anything like that. Just kind of also put in my 2 cents and just kind of have a conversation about how you should go about collecting. And it's actually a really easy, simple answer. You should go about collecting the way that you feel you should go about it. And so, given that I have only been collecting manga for about 2 years, specifically a very focused collecting of manga for the last 2 or so years, and have mostly been collecting novels for the vast majority of my life, I do know a little bit about collecting, right? So I think that the idea is that you should collect the way you like. And specifically when it comes to manga, if you want to buy a bunch once and then forget about it for 6 months and then buy some more, later down the line, go for it. If that works for you, that works for you. Now, if you're a beginner, I don't recommend that you go collecting certain ways, but that's also part of the learning process and part of the enjoyment about manga collecting is that you kind of get excited and you start buying everything and anything that comes your way. And then you realize, hey, I don't really need all of this stuff. And so you sell it off. And then you kind of start being more structured about collecting. And so I think that the way you go about collecting maybe does require some thought process. But what you collect itself doesn't really matter all that much. If you want to only collect Shonen Jump titles, feel free to do so. If you only want to collect seinen titles, feel free to do so. If you only want to collect shoujo or josei or BL or Yuri or whatever, just go ahead and do so. Collect the way you want. Enjoy the hobby the way you want. That's the point of this, right? Is that everyone is different. Everyone's going to go about different things and enjoy different things. And that's the beauty of all of this stuff, right? Someone that also has a YouTube channel who's from Mexico called Gabo Figueroa actually just mentioned this in one of my videos. I think it was on the Ñoño Chat, which is a Spanish podcast-esque kind of video series that I'm starting on the channel. He mentioned that, what part of the beauty of the world is that everyone has different enjoyments and different things that they like. And so it's actually really interesting to be able to connect with other people and see what they like. And so with the same kind of idea in mind, you should also try to do the same thing with your manga collecting. Just enjoy what you want, buy what you want. And, don't let anyone tell you, oh, man, your collection's so garbage because you have the same 5 manga that everyone else has. Because let's be honest here, every manga tuber has those same 5 books. Everyone in MangaTube has Flowers of Evil, Vinland Saga, Monster, Chainsaw Man, and, whatever else that you can think of off of the top of your head, because those are the really popular titles right now. And so, 10 years from now, maybe not everyone has those in their collection because those are going to be old people books, right? And and that's just how it's going to be. Collect the way you want to, collect what you want to. Don't feel like you have to collect a certain way in order to be a certain type of person. Manga community has a lot of elitism, and a lot of people that are very passionate about the fact that their series is the best. And the reality is that all the series are good. And in general, if they made it past publication and they even made it past the fact that they have to be imported, the reality is that basically everything that sells here in the US is basically the cream of the crop. So deal with it. Everything that you have access to buying is probably going to be significantly better than most other things that you could think of buying. So I don't know. Maybe that's not correct. It's totally fair if it's not. But what I'm saying is that, there's so many hurdles to get it to publish in English. The probability of it being significantly worse than you would think is actually quite bad or quite unlikely. So, just enjoy what it is that you enjoy. If you only want to buy Monster Girl volumes, feel free to only buy Monster Girl volumes. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you enjoy what you're collecting and that you go about collecting in a way that you enjoy. Now, let me talk about how I go about collecting. So, I can share a little bit about how my thought process goes, and this is going to be similar to my collecting archive videos that I have. And so, just feel free to click away now if you want. I got the soapbox message out of the way, so this is mostly just my personal experience. So when I started collecting, I bought basically everything and anything that came my way. I basically bought what was cheapest, not necessarily what I was most interested in, because I was in an exploratory phase. I'm very much a dabbler. I know a lot about how I feel about hobbies, and usually it's that I get this huge energy about a specific hobby, and then I go full throttle into it, and I just buy everything and anything that I can. And then, a few months later, when I get bogged down by all the stuff that I got into that hobby with, I kind of finally tone it down a little bit and decide, hey, this stuff is stuff I don't need, this stuff is stuff I don't like. I only want to collect and maintain this part of the hobby, right? And then you continue with that, or at least I continue with that. And as the years have gone by, it's been 2.5 years, I think, at this point, that I've been on this manga collecting journey, I have refined my collecting enough that I basically have a set of series, a list of series, a physical list of series that I want to try to pick up a volume of every time I go to the store. And the point is that this way I'm collecting the stuff that I want, specifically that I know that I want, and that I'm making sure that I don't spend money in things that I might necessarily not like, or things that are going to bloat my collection in a way that is not healthy for it right now, right? Because a collection is like a garden. You want to maintain it, you want to prune it, you want to make sure that it's clean and well-versed, and that you are happy with it, right? That is the primary point here. So what makes me happy is being organized about collecting manga. I'm not necessarily a very hardcore collector or anything like that. I mean, I guess I am significantly more hardcore than most people because I import manga from other places, but that's not necessarily, indicative of my hardcoreness. I would definitely call myself a casual collector. I buy the stuff that I like, and I don't really care about, making sure that I have everything about every author that I like or anything like that. I mean, there are some authors that I do want to collect everything of, but that's because I particularly like those authors. Like, I want to collect everything that Boichi has ever published, at least available in the languages that I can speak. That means that I want to collect Rakia, which is immensely out of print here in the US. I want to collect Wallman, which is from Spain. I want to collect Hotel, which is also from Spain. I want to collect Sunken Rock, which is currently releasing from Spain, and I want to collect Dr. Stone at some point, and I'll probably buy that from Mexico because that will be the cheapest option for me, and it'll also be the fastest because Mexico's slightly ahead of the US when it comes to Dr. Stone in publishing wise, and they'll also probably have a box set faster than the US will. So, you know, that's kind of the idea there. I also want to collect everything that Hiromashima has put out. However, that one's significantly different because Rave Master is a series that I'm not necessarily very interested in, but I do want to buy it just so I know everything that, you know, Mashima has ever produced. And I definitely want to get the Monster Hunter volumes that he worked on, and there's a few other things that I want from him, but of course, those are probably going to be very difficult to buy at some point, so I'm not necessarily stressing over that fact, right? Other than that, there really isn't any other manga that I really truly want everything that they have ever made, because I don't really care all that much about that type of stuff. I mostly just want to focus on stuff I enjoy and stuff that brings me a lot of happiness, right? So yeah, that's my 2 cents about this. So remember, collect the way you want to collect. Don't let anyone else tell you how to collect. And you know, there's a lot of elitism, so you know, just don't engage with that type of stuff. Stay away. You know, One Piece is gonna be having thousands of followers everywhere. Every Berserk lover is gonna be like, seinen is the best, bro. If you're only reading shonen, you're a dumbass. Just don't listen to them. They're dumb too because they have these attitudes, right? So just enjoy your collecting and don't let anyone else tell you how to do it, and have fun. That's really all that matters. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know your thought. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.